crazy conspiracy boy, but this is just too freaking weird. So you guys might have seen the movie Contagion, a movie about a viral pandemic which begins near China, is a variation of SARS, and comes from a bat in the movie. Yeah, so similar to the coronavirus, right? Well, let's just watch this clip from it now.
Alan, today on Twitter, you wrote that the truth about this virus is being kept from the world by the CDC, by the World Health Organization, to allow friends of the current administration to benefit from it, both financially and physically.
There are therapies we know are effective right now, like Forsythia, and they don't even appear on the CDC website.
Yeah, there's a herbal treatment in the movie called Forsythia, which when I first watched the movie, I thought it was just a made-up name. But Forsythia is a real plant in real life. And guess freaking what? They are using this plant in China right now as an alternative treatment for coronavirus. This research by the Chinese Journal of Integrative Medicine, titled Can Chinese Medicine Be Used for Prevention of Coronavirus Disease 2019, shows us, yes, they are. As we can see, Forsythia fructis is one of the ingredients in the list of herbs being trialed. As we can see from the conclusions of research, based on historical records and human evidence of SARS and H1N1 influenza prevention, Chinese herbal formula could be an alternative approach for prevention of COVID-19 in high-risk population. Prospective, rigorous population studies are warranted to confirm the potential preventive effect of Chinese medicine. Need more? Well, the Shanghai Institute of Materia Medica, SIM, and the Wuhan Institute of Virology found that Shuanghuang Lian oral liquid could be used to inhibit the 2019 nCoV. From the article, what is this oral liquid made from? A blend of honeysuckle, Chinese skullcap, and Forsythia. And further in the article, in 2003, SIM took the lead in confirming that Shuanghuang Lian oral liquid has anti-SARS coronavirus effect. And in the decade following the SARS outbreak, a team from the institute conducted numerous researches and confirmed the TCM's efficiency against influenza virus H7N9, H1N1, H5N1, SARS-CoV, and the Middle East Respiratory Syndrome coronavirus MERS, reporting obvious antiviral effects. Now, my friends, SIM is run under the Chinese Academy of Sciences, which is state-owned and run, so this is no BS. And the news in China was broke by the official state-run press agency of the People's Republic of China, the Xinhua News Agency, and it caused people to panic and rush to pharmacies to get the oral liquid. Weibo has been covering this like mad and has a video that was posted of the long lines. Let's just watch side by side what is going on with the Shuanghuang Lian and a clip from Contagion, people waiting for Forsythia. Now that just freaks me the freak out. I'm not BSing. Either we had a coincidence like this world will never see again, or someone in Hollywood is warning us. So yes, so many damn similarities. Even back then, bats, respiratory virus, starting in China, Forsythia. And by the way, I got some Shuanghuang Lian, not because it's verified to work, no one knows, as there is no long-term research done on its benefits against the coronavirus. I'm just getting the defense that was in the movie, yet was ostracized by traditional medicine. Similar to how most Western medical journals today are now ostracizing Shuanghuang Lian. Chinese media is selling snake oil to fight the coronavirus. But now we have to go back to a clip from Contagion with the CDC director Lawrence Fishburne and a media news reporter. Let's watch now.
But right now, our best defense has been social distancing. No handshaking, staying
9
home
years
when you're
ago,
sick,
this
washing
movie
your
was
hands
filmed.
frequently.
Yes, he is exclaiming, just like now, social distancing is what works. Lawrence Fishburne, the
9 years
CDC
ago.
director. But there is a person he is talking to, the news station reporter. Who is that? Well, that is no other than a person in real life who is now on CNN almost 10 years later doing the same thing as their chief medical correspondent.
You look at these extraordinary measures that are taking place in China, the largest quarantine in the history of the world, the policies, the travel restrictions, all of that, they say, was really designed to slow this down. not stop it. It's a tiny little virus. It doesn't respect boundaries and borders. You know, I talked to Dr. Redfield, who's the head of the CDC.
Yup, talking to the CDC director, informing the American public, putting them side by side. It's the same damn guy from the movie doing the same damn thing. So right then and there, I was like, what the freaking freak? And it made me realize that Contagion might just be a bit more dramatic version of what is to come from this. What was a major theme in that movie? The vaccine. Yes, as the virus becomes more deadly, a vaccine is all the population can think of in the movie. The death toll reaches 2.5 million people in the US and over 26 million people worldwide in the movie. Would you get a vaccine if things were like that right now? Well, as of right now, not in the movies, the death toll is still under 40,000. But dying from the virus is becoming a very common theme in mainstream media. Why do you think it was announced Sunday the death toll here in the U.S. could reach 100K to 200K by the head of the task force, Dr. Deborah Birx?
So we've never really done all of these things that we're doing. We've put them into a model. We've looked at the Italy data with their self-isolation, and that's where we come up with, if we do things together well, almost perfectly, we could get in the range of 100,000 to 200,000 fatalities. We don't even want to see
I know, but you kind of take my breath away with that, because what I hear you saying is that's sort of the best case scenario. If everything works and people do the things you're asking them to do, maybe you can hold the deaths to 1 to 200,000 in this country.
And yeah, that is the 15 days ago, he leaked what he was working on. Yes, they are gung-ho on creating a global ID, but their alliance is important. Who is behind id2020? As we can see, Accenture, Microsoft, the Rockefeller Foundation, and Gavi, the Vaccine Alliance. Who is behind Gavi? Of course, Bill and Melinda Gates, as they set it up in 1999 with a $750 million donation. And who just stepped down from Microsoft to focus on philanthropy? Bill frickin' Gates did. And in a Reddit AMA posted 13 days ago, he leaked what he was working on. A user asked, what changes are we going to have to make to how businesses operate to maintain our economy while providing social distancing? Which he answers, but in the paragraph below he drops this for some reason. Eventually we will have some digital certificates to show who has recovered or been tested recently, or when we have a vaccine, who has received it. Yep, it's coming, a digital health certificate based on coronavirus testing and vaccination information. And why do you think id2020 announced just before the outbreak in September of 2019 this? id2020 and partners launch a program to provide digital ID with vaccines. Could this be the digital certificates he was speaking about in vaccines? Well, if they are digital, untamperable, you would think they would be on a blockchain, right? Well, from my research, you are correct. Over the weekend, Mi Pasa was announced, which doesn't that sound like My Pass in Spanish? Yeah, it does. So what is Mi Pasa? According to their website, it's a global scale control and communication system that enables a swift and more precise early detection of COVID-19 carriers and infection hotspots through seamless and fully private information sharing between individuals, state authorities, and health institutions, such as hospitals and HMOs, utilizing advanced technological tools and a dedicated user app. But who is involved? Microsoft, IBM, Oracle, Hasera, the World Health Organization, and countries around the globe. The US CDC, the Chinese CDC, the European CDC, and more. Mi Pasa tu casa, My Pass your house. Yeah, My Pass is coming to your house soon. So remember id2020. Well, they already have a program out there in the English version of Mi Pasa called, yes, My Pass. They rolled it out here in the States, Austin, Texas, in 2018. And as we can see from the website, it's a blockchain-enabled platform that stores, secures, validates, and automatically packages personal documents, facilitating resident access to social and health services, especially vital to ending homelessness, such as housing benefits and access to medical care. And at the bottom of this, we are excited to continue working with the Austin community, as well as partners like id2020 in helping our neighbors secure their identity and access to services they need. So, super scary? Yeah, it is. But now let's get back to id2020 and who is officially behind that on a blockchain-based technical level. Going to their leadership, we have board chairman Gary Conile, who has connections to the UN. But next is #1 board member Blythe Masters of Digital Asset Holdings. But she is also on the governing board of Hyperledger. Then below her, you have David Tree, global head of blockchain for Accenture. But also he sits on the board of the Hyperledger project and the Enterprise Ethereum Alliance EEA. Now, let's just go back to MiPasa, and actually the blockchain platform that is being named as one of the top contributors. Hasera, one of their products, of which MiPasa is hosted on, is the Unbounded Scale, which is a smart contract abstraction layer built for enterprise, which combines the ease of use of digital assets open source YAML SDK with enterprise-grade Hyperledger Fabric deployment. Connections, connections, connections. So, my friends, if you don't see it, a digital ID tracking system, it's being built before our eyes and under most people's noses. The connections between digital asset, Hyperledger, and the EEA makes me think projects I've been talking about, Unibright, Chainlink, and more, might have a seat with the elite in the New World Order. As, if you know, those projects connect right back to DAML smart contracts, digital asset, Microsoft, the EEA, and more. Is that a good thing or is that a bad thing? Bad for our future, but good for our pocket. Well, I'm going to figure this all out if it's the last thing I do, which it might be. Cheers. I'll see you next time.
Great video from Chico Crypto. I recommend his channel. Yeah, we're pretty fucked. Hope everybody's okay.